Gutter Trash is a proud member of the Comics Podcast Network. Hello, welcome to Gutter Trash, episode 44. I'm there.
I'm Jason.
How you doing?
I'm in a good mood.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
How about you?
I'm alright. Why are you in such a good mood?
I feel, because we're listening to some metal.
Yeah? Oh shit.
I like,
Almost fell. Sorry.
kind of, feel like, like I could, do some washing.
Really?
Yeah.
It's not good for you.
It's bad for your heart.
It's bad for your heart and, your, accelerated age. I don't think,
Oh, these big fucking glasses.
That too, yeah. I don't think I would ever feel in the mood to, mosh.
Yeah, it's been a while for me.
Yeah.
A few years.
I think, the last time I moshed had to be back in, 1997 or something.
Right, yeah. I think the last show that I was anywhere near the front of the show, like during a heavy show, was Fantomas.
Right.
But I mean, there's hardly any room to mosh or dance or whatever anymore. It's just mostly just packed with kids that are,
all just trying to get to the front.
Yeah, and that's basically all that was going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, so yeah, we reviewed a documentary, our first documentary.
Yeah.
So, it was pretty cool.
It's different.
Yeah, called, Metal, A Headbanger's Journey. Written and directed by a guy by the name of Sam Dunn, who is an anthropologist.
Yeah.
Which, is pretty cool.
Yeah. Which is not the study of plants.
No. Yeah.
It's the study of people
and cultures. Yeah. But he's a total metalhead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he's very intelligent man.
Yeah.
Seemed like.
Man, that's really bothering me.
What's that?
The motorboat on top of my house. There we go. Put aside the headphones for now. It's not doing good with my hangover.
Yeah, why do you have a hangover?
Because I got really fucking drunk last night.
Like the Labor Day party at your parents'?
At my parents' house, they had a cookout party thing, and I drank a lot.
Yeah.
I drank a lot.
I had 3 Coronas. You invited me over, and your parents invited me over, which was awesome.
Thank you for coming. Huh?
Yeah, it was good. Good food.
Yeah.
Good people. Good times.
Some burgers and pasta and beans and potato salad and hot dogs, Mets, brats.
Hots?
Huh?
Hot brats?
No, hot Mets.
Hot Mets, okay.
Hot Mets. It's also desserts, and you didn't get there in time for any of the appetizers, but it was like a huge tray of fruit.
I had to sling magic cards till 8 o'clock.
Yeah. But, I started drinking at around 6 o'clock that night. You came over around 9:30. I had more than my fair share. I was the only one actually drinking hard alcohol.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone else was just drinking beer or wine.
Yours were, you're referring, of course, to your popsicle, whiskey popsicles.
Right.
Everybody else just was soft, room temperature alcohol.
Right. And then after you got there, I think I had maybe 2 more bourbons, and then I switched to beer, and I had 3 Miller Lights.
You're mellowing down at that point.
Exactly. Just working my way down to back to tea and Pepsi.
Yeah, your parents are awesome. Good place. And, yeah, that was a good time.
Yeah. It was a fun night.
Yeah, I could tell you'd had a few by the time I got there. You were a little more open and
animated.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I tend. Mm-hmm. And I may be just kind of a hair of the dog kind of thing, but maybe I should go get something now.
Oh, yeah?
Because I'm certainly not feeling animated. And I know that in a few hours I'm going to meet your special lady friend for the first time.
Special lady friend, that's right.
And, usually when I'm around people I've never met before, I shut down emotionally and socially. So, if you're thinking that, I should try to have a conversation with her at some point, I should probably be drunk.
Okay. We'll just take like a little vial of whiskey for you.
You've got a flask.
Oh, yeah.
Rinse it out for me.
Sure.
Yeah. And, Yay! So, in addition to the motorboats, my neighbors who haven't been here all day have now shown up as we're starting the show. Fantastic.
Perfect time.
Fantastic. Oh, motherfucker. I need to move. They're driving me out of my home. I've lived here for 10 years, and they are driving me out of here.
Wow. It's like those old cartoons where, like, the bear just wants to sleep in his tree, and then, like, the woodpeckers or the chipmunks move in, and they just keep bugging him. He's trying to hibernate.
Yeah, fuck Woody Woodpecker.
Yeah. Was it Woody Woodpecker?
Yeah.
It makes for an interesting cartoon.
Yeah, it's not very interesting in real life.
Kind of like Tom Green. You watch a show and you're like, oh, that's funny. But if you knew him, or if he lived next door to you, you just want to kill him.
Yeah. Anything else new?
I read a Batman and Robin #3 today.
Okay.
And Amazing Spider-Man #600. Little Marvel DC.
Yeah.
They're both awesome.
Yeah.
The Spider-Man 600 had this really good Doc Ock story where Spidey and Daredevil go to the bar with no name, the supervillain hangout bar, and they like bust it up. And Doc Ock actually seems cool and scary during the story, so I was like, wow, that's quite a feat. I thought Dan Slott wrote it, and I'd never read anything that he's written, and I was impressed.
I've only read one thing by him. No, that's not true. I've read two different things by him. One was I guess for a while he was like the guy to write the Great Lakes Avengers books.
Oh, okay.
Like whenever there would be like a mini-series or one shot or whatever, he was the guy writing them. And those are entertaining. He also wrote a Batman story called Arkham Asylum, or Asylum or something like that. Not the Grant Morrison, obviously. But and like head covers by Eric Powell.
Oh, that was him?
Yeah,
okay. I think I have read those. That was good.
Yeah, those are good. I enjoyed those.
Wow, I didn't realize it was him.
Yeah. Ryan Suck drew those, right?
I can't remember. It's been too many years.
I want to say he did, but anyway. Yeah.
And Batman and Robin, excellent.
Batman and Robin was very good. Yes.
Red Hood.
Yeah, the Red Hood is coming back. Could be Jason Todd. Could be the Joker. You never know.
Could be somebody completely different.
Exactly. I too read a Dr. Octopus story this week.
Really? Which
Yeah.
one?
The last story that was featured in the Strange Tales comic.
Oh,
the Jason story.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Also involved the bar.
Also did involve a bar. Yep. Doc Ock was not scary or intimidating in that, but Spider-Man kind of was.
Yeah. Yeah, he was
just kind of a dick.
Yeah. Well, that is Spider-Man's personality.
Yeah.
I like Spidey stories, especially. That's why I bought #600 because John Romita Jr. drew it, and I love that guy. And
it was very good.
And it was like a super thick issue, and multiple stories, but that story was huge. So, so it was cool to see like one uninterrupted story, drawn by him.
Right,
it's pretty sweet.
I do like me some J.R. J.R.
Jar Jar,
not Jar Jar. J.R. J.R.
Oh man.
However, I will refuse to read anything that he does with Mark Miller.
Yeah, I don't read Kick-Ass.
Yeah. No Kick-Ass, none of that Wolverine story that he did.
Oh, that's right, that was
Enemy of the State, or whatever that was called. Nope. Just, anything else, I'll definitely be interested in if I don't actually read it or not.
Yeah, you should check out the Spidey. It's pretty awesome.
Of course, I think it's going to be very hard for him to ever top Daredevil Man Without Fear.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
The Frank Miller miniseries.
Yeah. I love that book a lot.
I like the whole Straczynski Spidey run. That was great.
I read some of those, but it wasn't. I don't know. I'm not as huge a Spidey fan as apparently I'm supposed to be.
No, right.
I guess I don't know.
I like him because he's got the jokes and witty banter. Where a lot of superhero books are just. I mean, you get the action, but it's just kind of kind of boring. But I like throwing it. It's like Bugs Bunny is fighting the Shocker. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
I don't like Ultimate Spider-Man though.
I've never read that.
It's got that vibe, that jokey kind of vibe, but and Bendis at his best, basically.
Right.
So it's a good combo. It'd be awesome if John Romita Jr. drew that.
I would probably read that.
Yeah.
Nothing against Bagley. I think he's good.
Well, Bagley hasn't been on the title for over 2-3 years.
Well, I mean, that's why I never read it. I was just
he's awful.
You don't like him?
Bagley?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I hate him.
Oh, I like him.
I think he's terrible. I cannot. When the Ultimates line was first announced and it was supposed to be like, this is how we're going to get new people into comics. And I'm thinking, really? With Mark Bagley? He's awful. That's the guy you want representing all of comicdom?
I think he's solid.
And then with Ultimate X-Men, they did the Kuberts? What the fuck? They were literally trying to drive people away, I think.
Well, I'll agree with you. But the Bagley, I think he's really solid, and he's a good storyteller. I don't think he's like I never look at one pinup that he does and, I'm never like, wow, look at this page. But I just think as a solid, just John Byrne-ish kind of storyteller, I think he's good.
Except that John Byrne used to actually be really good, and Mark Bagley never was. Metal, a Headbanger's Journey.
Let's talk about Metal. we can agree on that. I'm thinking we can agree on.
I think so.
Yeah.
It was really entertaining.
Yeah. It was very good.
Yeah. As far as the documentary goes, I don't think it was very informative. That may just be because we're metal nerds and we know most of it anyway.
Yeah, I'd known a lot of those stories.
Right.
I'd even seen a clip from this before, the guy from Gorzagoth or whatever. He's like
Gorgoth. Yeah,
it's on that guy. I've seen that clip before, but yeah. I mean, a little bit was informative, especially how he put everything into genres.
Oh, the flowchart.
Yeah, the flowchart.
The flowchart is good.
That was really neat. Yeah, it was pretty cool. And the one thing I really found surprising is how, I don't know why I'm surprised, but how cool Ronnie James Dio is.
Right.
He just seems like the best guy.
Yeah.
I would love to hang out with Ronnie James Dio.
Yeah. He's a creepy looking little troll, but, he seems like one of the super nicest guys ever.
Yeah. Down to earth.
Yeah, just super down to earth and really funny.
Right.
Yeah, and just constantly making fun of Gene Simmons and
holding up swords for photos.
Right.
And, realizing it's a joke.
Right. Well, I think, when you see, his videos that he did, Holy Diver and, stuff like that, where he's...
Silver Mountain and stuff.
Yeah, he's a sword-wielding barbarian type, but he's 4'0" and balding. He's been balding since, he was famous, but...
But I've seen those videos and I thought, does he believe this is cool or does he take it seriously?
But when you see an interview with him, you kind of get the idea that no, he's just doing it because it's fun.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. That's great. Some of those guys clearly don't get it.
Everyone in Norway.
Yeah. Oh, what is wrong with those guys? They can make good comics artists apparently, but retarded musicians.
There's one aspect of the movie that I really admired, And that's the fact that this guy did a documentary about heavy metal, and it was only a barely passing mention of Metallica.
Yeah, it was like the very end.
Yep.
I mean, like, he mentioned them one time,
Right.
and then, like, he sort of fades out with Master Puppets, but...
Right.
Yeah, I was surprised, too. I was like, you know... I mean, everybody knows who they are. You
Right.
don't even need to mention them.
Exactly, right. So, yeah, I'm glad that he decided to focus on other bands.
Right.
Yeah.
That was impressive.
Yeah.
The interview with Mayhem was probably one of the better interviews. It reminded me a lot of... Have you ever seen... When I was a kid, I saw this... There was a 2-part series called... what the fuck was it called? Decline of Western Civilization.
Yeah.
There was the punk rock one, and then there was Metal Years.
Yeah.
And then the Metal Years one is the first one I saw, and they interview, I think he's the... Oh... Was he the bass player from... Oh, fuck. It wasn't... Oh, my gosh. Who was the band? He was fucking drunk, and he was laying on a flotation device.
Yeah.
Was he from Wasp? I think he was from Wasp.
I can't remember.
But he was the guy from Mayhem.
Yeah.
Like in this movie.
Yeah.
That was so great that the comedy relief of Mayhem presented itself.
And Mayhem, of course, is the band whose original lead singer blew his brains out, and his bandmate took a picture of it and used it as the cover for one of their albums.
And they made jewelry out of his skull or something.
Right.
Yeah,
But yeah, they were just total
douchebags.
Yeah.
Clearly don't get they don't get what's fun about metal.
Right. And I believe they're also Norwegian, right?
I think so. I believe
Scandinavian, somewhere. Yeah.
I believe they were. Yeah, I've never got into that. Like, I was in a metal band once.
You're right.
And the guitar player loved, like, Norwegian black metal, all that stuff, and I just could not get into it. Like, he'd always bring stuff to practice and play it, and I'm like, I just don't...
Yeah.
I don't get it. It's too serious.
Right. And it's also just not very good.
It's boring.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like... There's no, like... I like the change-ups or the groove. You know,
Right.
I like metal that's either ridiculous, like Dio, you know, or metal like
that really pushes like what the music does.
Yeah,
and, you know,
instead of just boring. How fast can we go? Straightforward.
Yeah, double bass all the way through. Just the same riff over and over again.
Right.
You know, just like this is the D chord throughout the whole fucking thing, and then the metal singer with his growly, screechy vocals that, says like 2 words and then like doesn't talk for a while and then 2 words again. And it's just like, Satan loves Satan.
I love metal and I have since I was a kid, but some metal bands are some of the worst music I've ever heard.
Oh, hell yeah.
But then there's some amazing ones, like Sepultura is one of the best bands I've ever heard.
Sepultura is great.
Fucking love them.
Slayer's
awesome. Me and Doogie were listening to you showed me those tracks yesterday from their new album online.
Oh, yeah, right.
Whatever it's called, Hate Worldwide.
Hate Worldwide and Psychopathy Red.
Yeah, we looked those up on YouTube. I mean, one of them I had like studio footage. I think it was Psychopathy Red, and the other one I think was just like like their logo with like the music playing. But Doogie is the biggest Slayer fan I've ever met, and he's super excited about that. He likes the way it sounds. So.
Yeah, the new songs are pretty good. Stuff.
Yeah. So how did you get into metal? Let's talk about metal.
Alright, well, I mean, it's gonna have to go back to Metallica.
Mm-hmm.
I was, and this seems to be something, I was thinking about this while we were watching the movie, that it's around the age of 12, I think, that anyone who gets into metal, like, that's when they do it.
Right.
Because I was probably around 12, and I heard Justice for All for the first time. Especially the song One.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, yep, I like it. And that took me on the path from, Bobby Brown and stuff like that straight into metal territory.
That's a huge jump, isn't it?
It's a fucking leap, man.
It's not like being into Bobby Brown and discovering David Bowie.
Right.
Which It's basically
it's a leap too,
over.
but yeah, it's
right.
not as wide a gap, right?
Yeah, you go right into Beneath the Remains by Salvatore, like Haunting the Chapels.
Yeah. No, yeah, so yeah, I got in with Justice for All, and then I got into like the Metallica back catalog, and like the Black Album came out like shortly thereafter, and that's pretty much where I went from there.
Headbangers Ball, I'm sure.
No,
Really?
never really watched that. Although I did watch the Cable Access Channel 23. Had their late night Friday and Saturday metal shows.
Was it Johnny Metal? He wore like an Uncle Sam hat.
No,
Not that guy.
no, it was Metalomania was the one show.
I thought his show was Metal Mania. Maybe it was Metal Mania. I'm sure that there's like 8 versions
Probably,
of that.
yeah. It definitely wasn't a guy wearing an Uncle Sam hat. I can tell you that much. It was just some blonde dude.
Well, this guy, Johnny Metal, he was an older guy, and he had a house on Brown Street down there close to Second Round.
Right.
But the bottom floor, like the living room or whatever, was a record shop, and he only sold his metal CDs and tapes.
Yeah.
And he would drive around during the daytime in this van where on one side he had painted Eddie from Iron Maiden, and the other side, I think it was the chair from Ride the Lightning.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he was totally into metal, and he did the metal shit night, and he was probably in his 50s.
Right.
I mean, he was just a lifer. Which is something they point out in the documentary.
It's not something that, I was into Slayer for a summer.
Yeah, that's what he
Right,
said. Yeah, you kind of like, I mean, I definitely listened to a lot more metal when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
Like, it was like a larger portion of my music pie chart.
Right.
Like, now I listen to like a little bit of everything. Sad Bastard and jazz.
Sad Bastard is probably your biggest slice.
I love the Sad Bastard. Makes me so happy. Maybe that's what it is. I feed off their pain to make me happy. Maybe, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
How did you?
It stays with you for life.
How did you get in there?
Well, Metallica was mine too.
Yeah.
Mine was, it was 4th grade. I don't know how old you are in 4th grade, like 10.
Yeah, probably.
And I remember I was drawing. Actually, I drew a 1-page strip about this in an upcoming Vegedoc Saturday number 4. So you make sure to purchase that. But I was in 4th grade class, and I was drawing a Poison logo on it was either on my desk or in my folder, my Trapper Keeper. And this kid that was next to me had this trench coat and long hair. And he's like, "You like Poison? You listen to that shit?" That's what he said. And I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Here, listen to this." And he handed me a fucking. I remember it vividly. It was a cassette tape without the cover. It was just the white plastic tape, like the actual tape, not like Memorex tape.
Right.
But he had lost the cover, or had it nailed to his wall or something. And it was Master of Puppets, and he handed it to me. I was like, "Okay." He's like, "Take it home, listen to it." And so I can remember exactly where I was when I heard it. I was in the living room. I had it in my dad's stereo after school, and I turned it on, and I think Battery was the first song that I listened to. And I was like, man, this...
That's the first song on the album.
Right. I think, you never can tell with the tapes. The website is rewinds.
Right, yeah.
But I put it in, and I remember instantly going this is something completely different.
Yeah.
This is not Def Leppard and Poison.
Right. Well, I mean, Battery, if that was indeed the first song that you heard, with that acoustic beginning,
right.
Very slow and kind of pretty.
So this is going to be extreme.
Right, yeah, and then all of a sudden just dun.
Right.
Yeah, it
just hits you. And on the stereo too, I'm lucky I didn't have, because I had a cassette tape player that was no bigger than, my shoe at the time. Just one of those things with 4 buttons and a little tiny speaker.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine him listening to it on there. It would have been oh, that was neat.
Right.
Whoa, that was a little fast. But yeah, on my dad's fucking stereo system, it blew me away. But, and also, I remember too, I think I may have told you this story before, but just pretend as if I haven't.
Alright. Forgotten.
The thing that,
Who are you?
stumbling block that kept me from traveling further into metal was, in, I think it was 6th grade, there was a kid named Cecil. Did I tell you about Cecil?
I don't know. Go ahead.
But he wore a Slayer shirt every day to school.
Yes, you told me about Cecil. Yes.
But a different Slayer shirt.
Right.
Like, he never had the same one. And during lunch, he would go around to everybody's tray and he'd be like, and this is 6th grade, right?
Right.
And this is a school that was all 4th, 5th, and 6th graders. So 6 is like as old as you get in this school.
Right.
And he goes around to your table and, we're like, oh no, here comes Cecil. And he comes over and he's like, are you going to eat that meatball? I mean, this kid was like 45 and he was in 6th grade. And he would take food from anyone's table, and he's like 2 feet taller than everybody else in the class.
Right.
And he always had a Slayer shirt on, and he also had this ring on his ring finger that was a wolf's head, like made out of some sort of silver metal.
Yeah.
And it was like pointy, like the snout of the wolf was like pronounced and points out. It wasn't like a flat image, like a nickel profile of it.
Right.
And if you didn't give him a piece of your food, he would punch you with the wolf ring.
Of course.
And so, for years, I just associated Slayer with this kid. And anytime one of my metal friends were like, oh, you should listen to Slayer, I'm like, no! You can't make me! But eventually, that part of me has passed.
Yeah.
And I got into Rain and Blood and Seasons in the Abyss.
Right.
But I still couldn't tell you if I saw Cecil like going through the.
You wouldn't let yourself.
Or if he was in a wheelchair in Meyer and he was like operating it with a straw because his only muscles were in his mouth, I couldn't tell you that I wouldn't push his chair over in the middle of the aisle and be like, "Fuck you, Cecil." Or ensemble this bitch. I don't know. But yeah, I'm glad I got over that.
Yeah.
I'm clearly healed.
Well, it's kind of one of those things. Like when I was really little, my landlord, he owns a business that's in this building I live in,
Right.
And I've known him, forever. And like some of the kids that he had working for him, like back in the 80s, like I know one of them used to run around in like an Iron Maiden t-shirt.
Oh yeah.
So talked to him, nice guy, but he'd be wearing something that has Eddie on it, and I'm like 7 years old, and I'm just freaked out by this monster that he's wearing, and so I just associated Iron Maiden with just everything evil in the world.
Oh right.
But of course Iron Maiden is like one of the most ridiculous bands ever. So, but I mean, I wasn't afraid to listen to them though, especially when I got to the point where I was like really craving metal in my life, Iron Maiden was one of the bands that I waited a while until
one of the last of the big ones.
Right. And so, but I got into Maiden, and I mean they're just totally ridiculous.
Oh, but awesome.
Oh, but totally awesome. Yeah. And I think that's a big part of what I like about metal is that I love the bands that are just ridiculous.
But over the top,
like an Iron Maiden
or Mayhem,
no. But Iron Maiden clearly knows that they're putting on a show.
Oh yeah,
and then they're entertainers first and foremost, and like in the documentary, Bruce Dickinson talking about performing to the crowd, and and just feeding off of that energy, and knowing that they're not serious about anything that they're doing, right?
Well, I think that's the thing that a lot of those Norwegian guys don't get is, it definitely is a powerful type of music where, it's cathartic for people, it's, you can release energy and negativity or whatever, and there's a theatrics to it that I think stops at a certain point, and then, even when it's over the top, like fucking Cathedral or whoever, that's ridiculous, but it gets to a point where they take it seriously and they lose sight of what makes it fun, makes it interesting.
Right.
And it just becomes like a 12-year-old, setting fire to a cat at that point.
Yeah.
Like shocking for no reason.
Right. And it's like, there's a kind of extensive piece about Cannibal Corpse. Mm-hmm. And, not a huge fan or anything like that, but just from the guys that they interviewed in the band talking about like their album cover art, you can still tell that they get it.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, I mean, we don't do, huge stage shows or anything like that, but, we totally get that this is all just an act and it's performance. And,
I think a lot of their fans don't get that.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, okay.
I was going to bring that up at some point. That heavy metal fans are terrible, terrible people.
Well, they can be. There's a portion, yeah.
There's a large portion.
I saw Cannibal Corpse play live.
Yeah.
And I literally thought that this girl that was being crowd surfed was going to get raped during one of the songs.
Yeah.
People were like grabbing her everywhere. I mean, like not just her breast, but like
right.
I mean, it was like they were fucking. What are they doing to this girl?
Right.
Just because she wants to crowd surf. And I talked to a couple people at that show. Just like that I was standing next to, like adorned in camouflage and like scars on their faces, and
right.
they're clearly insane people.
Yeah.
I mean, not like they're not there to release, from a hard day at work.
They are
fucking nuts.
Yeah. I think there is metal fans get stereotyped as just being, retarded, lunkheads that, worship Satan and they're just, socially maladjusted.
Right.
And I mean, there are some who aren't, that don't fit the stereotype. But the stereotype is there for a reason.
Most stereotypes are.
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely a portion. I mean, I've met some really intelligent,
me too.
articulate metalheads.
You're a metalhead and you're very
Big
clean
Steve.
cut, essentially.
You know Big Steve?
I do not know Big Steve, but I know your friend Andy,
Mm-hmm.
who's a total metalhead as far as from what you told
Oh
me.
my gosh, yes.
Like super metalhead, but he's just like a skinny nerd. He's bald. He's very dweebish looking. Super, super nice guy. Very soft spoken. Very intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely not what if you look at him you'd think, oh, that guy's totally into just the most hardcore metal ever.
Right, but
he is.
You can name any metal band basically that's released more than one album, and he could tell you every band member.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
But there are the guys who, they have these sloped foreheads and broken nose. They wear all black, and I mean,
they don't get it.
They do not get it at all. Yeah. They are, and then I think like the more extreme of the band is, the more hardcore of their fan is going to just be
right.
The worst person that you've ever met.
But see, I don't think that's necessarily like the fault of metal. Because I mean, like even comics, there's some people that are so ridiculously
into it,
horrible about collecting comics, like the slabbers and the investors, and like there's a genre, there's a subsection of every where I'm just like, gross.
It's not about the metal, but since we're talking about metal, I thought we
no. Yeah,
but no, you're right. Like the comic guy, like there's one kid. I don't even know if he's a kid. He could be in his 30s. Man-child, very man-child. Like I think his grandma used to drop him off at Mavericks every Wednesday, and he would he would get it. Like he had a file. He would take the books that you give him, but then he would go to the rack, and then he would go through.
Exactly
he would go through every comic in the pile to see which one was in the best condition, and then replace the one that you've put aside for him.
He'd be there for a couple hours.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like, this one looks good.
Right.
It was like examining the spine for 20 minutes.
Yep.
Like, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
He still comes in, still has a file.
Yeah. I haven't seen him in a while, but I don't come in on Wednesdays anymore.
I think he's in college, or he just finished up college.
He also used to come in like in the afternoons, and I work, so.
Right.
But, there's definitely always the humorless sad sack who is a part of anything.
Any cool thing.
Right.
Any cool, fun, what's the word I'm looking for?
Distraction.
Hobby. Yeah.
But like I said, the stereotypes are there, and they're not always true, but they're there for a reason.
Right. Yeah. There's enough people that belong to the stereotype that it becomes proliferated. But yeah, the documentary, I really enjoyed it. I mean, it covered everything, literally from poison to mayhem.
Yeah.
I mean, and in like an hour and a half. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And he sort of classified things in a way that made a sense. Like where it comes from and how it spawned.
Yeah, somewhat. Although it gets a little crazy when you have like Norwegian black metal, Swedish death metal,
Grindcore,
death metal, grindcore. Yeah. It was surprising that he did not. Like I said, I like the fact that he didn't touch on Metallica, at all.
Right.
But there were other bands that I thought may warrant some coverage.
So he did film the James Hetfield action figure in that one kid's room. That's hilarious. The Todd McFarlane figure.
Yeah.
Isn't it cool? Like, if I may, for a moment, it always comes back to comics with me, but just how far comics have proliferated every aspect of culture. I mean, even that, like this metal documentary, you see an action figure made by a comics artist. I saw a Alex Ross Anthrax cover on the guy's wall. It seems like there was another one. There's like 3 things, but whatever. I mean, I'd love to see just comics everywhere getting bigger and bigger. Thank you, Stan Lee, for inventing comic books. But you're saying there may have been some bigger acts, like what, Megadeth maybe?
Megadeth or Anthrax.
Yeah.
Scott Ian gets interviewed for fucking everything. I'm pretty sure he would have done this.
If this would have been the top 100 best commercials of the 80s documentary, he would have been there. VH1 presents Best Molehills.
Yeah.
Scott Ian's there. I don't even know what a molehill is, but he's there.
But I'm here. Yeah.
He's got an opinion. Yeah, that is weird now that you mentioned it. No Testament.
Yeah.
I mean, they did get, Iron Maiden, Dio, Geddy Lee,
yeah. Who, Rush, I have never, ever considered to be a metal band.
Yeah. Couldn't even see why, except for maybe, like, there's
progressive metal, maybe.
There's a pentagram on one of their covers.
Right, yeah.
Progressive, maybe, like, more like Dream Theater or something.
Yeah. Interviewed Tony Iommi, but no Ozzy.
Which was fine with me.
It's true.
I mean, there's
I don't want to sit through 20 minutes of what would normally be a 5-minute conversation.
Yeah, I mean, that and just, like, everyone knows Ozzy's opinion at this point. And Tony Iommi is, like, he basically constructed the sound. I mean, Ozzy constructed the lyrics, probably.
The lyrics and the image and the attitude, maybe.
The bad hair. The pants. But yeah, Iommi basically came up with a sound that
Iommi created heavy metal.
Yeah, like everybody in this video knows who Tony Iommi is.
Yeah.
Like even Mayhem, they probably are.
Yeah.
They probably realize who he is.
Maybe
not.
Maybe not. Yeah. I do think that it was. I was kind of scared at the beginning because they present the question of who created heavy metal.
Oh, yeah.
And they start with, like, the early metal bands. And I know that a lot of them are kind of considered heavy metal, like Led Zeppelin.
What was the one?
Blue Cheer.
Blue Cheer? I never heard of them.
I've heard of them, but, obviously not enough to name a song. Deep Purple. And I was really afraid that, he was going to say some other band other than Black Sabbath. Yeah. And I think you and I can both agree Black Sabbath created heavy metal.
That's what I would say.
Yeah, and I think, anyone who is into metal or plays metal, they know it too.
And like a lot of these bands, or a lot of fans will be like, no, it was Deep Purple or Blue Cheer or whatever.
Right.
That's like saying, Black Sabbath is pizza.
Yeah.
Maybe one of those other bands is Basil.
Yeah.
Maybe they're oregano. But they weren't fucking pizza.
No, right. They were all a piece of the pie, literally.
Yeah.
That eventually led to the creation of the pizza.
Right. Which is Black Sabbath.
Black Sabbath.
Yeah. Exactly.
Or, I mean, like, even if they were contemporaries, like, if they were all playing at the exact same time, they were all feeding on that same vibe or whatever that was going on, but Black Sabbath is the one that said, nope, here it is.
Yeah. Yeah, like, you're almost there, guys.
Yeah.
Here it is, though. And what was that note that they said Wagner invented? The tri-note or something?
The trichord, something, I don't know. The devil's note.
Yeah, the devil's note. Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought that was just called, like an E chord. I'm not sure, but the darkest, lowest, heaviest sound in metal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. If they're kind of attributed to that.
Yeah.
Was there any band that you saw in this documentary that you were like, I gotta check out Slipknot or whatever? Besides Mayhem, we both agree.
Well, of course,
we're gonna go get the matching back tattoos Monday. But,
yep.
But
yeah, not really.
Well, not necessarily that you didn't hear of, because I got one that I'm like, I need to pick up a couple of those albums.
Yeah, like
Dio.
Yeah.
Dio.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I mean, I've never owned a Dio album,
right?
But I've known who they are since I was like 10. But,
right.
But after watching them, I'm like, I need a Dio, and not as like check this kitschy album out.
Right, but like a genuine interest. Yeah.
But like, I want to fucking listen to Dio.
Right.
Like while I'm doing stuff on the computer, by myself.
Right.
Not like driving around like, hey buddy, check this hilarious. Because that would be Cathedral. Cathedral, if anybody's listening to this, please, YouTube, there's a band called Cathedral. Best heavy metal video ever. It makes Spinal Tap look like they're fucking serious. Like they're not trying to be funny.
Right.
The song is called Hopkins Witchfinder General.
I've heard, fuck.
It's from Earache Records. Years, 90s, probably late 90s.
I know there's a band called Witchfinder General.
Well, it's like a Vincent Price movie.
But yeah, there's also that. Yeah.
And they use clips of that in their video, but the rest of the video where it's like the actual band and their stage show, and oh my gosh, it is one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Cathedral, Hopkins Witchfinder General. Please go do yourself a favor. This is like eating a piece of pie in the middle of the day and watching this video. You'll be that happy.
But no, I don't think that there's any band that was featured that I'd want to check out stuff from. But that just may be because I hate music. But
that could play a part in your decision.
I don't know. I've never really been into Cannibal Corpse, but I might check out some of their stuff. Or, Arch Enemy, I was fairly impressed with some of the footage that they had in there. Which,
yeah, I had forgot. I've heard them before, but I forgot they had a female vocalist.
Yeah, which brings me to a band that you were in.
Oh yeah.
High Society, because there's a section about girl
empowerment,
bands and girl school, and female metal bands like Kitty and
Doro from Warlock.
Yeah, and so it got me to think about because he mentioned specifically the females who are now trying to perfect the guttural death metal, and tell us about High Society.
High Society. It was kind of inspired from, like, basically when punk rock got inspired by metal and bands like I Hate God and Cavity and that sort of thing, like Black Flag mixed with Black Sabbath came out. Yeah. We totally ripped off this band called Cavity, who I still love to this day. They're one of my favorite, like, heavier bands. Yeah. And, we totally ripped them off. But my girlfriend at the time, Amanda Freeman, was the vocalist. Yeah, I listened to it not too long ago. I dusted off the CD. It's been, like, a couple of years since I've seen it. And it's pretty good. I dig it. And her vocals are pretty guttural for the entire thing. Like, you probably wouldn't... You'd be like, is that a dude? Is that a lady?
If, when you gave me the tape years ago, it was... despite the fact that I knew that your girlfriend was singing that in the band, I would not have guessed upon listening that was her.
Or female in general.
Or female in general, right.
Yeah, and she wasn't into metal. I mean, she liked Led Zeppelin and Tool.
Right.
But she was more into, like, Edith Frost and, just kind of like soft, like, James Taylor. She liked James Taylor.
Well, who does?
Well, yeah.
But that's cool, it was probably like, a way for her to, like, release something,
Right.
Being able to just scream and shit like that, so. And I'm sure, at the time, you probably got along and it was fun for a while.
Exactly, yeah. I think that was, when things started getting wrong, though, like, doing something creative, with her. Like, maybe like, that was like, oh, this is frustrating. Now let's go home and be frustrated some more, Like, it's cool to, like, jam with your buddies, and when it gets frustrating, like, I'm gonna call it a night, and you go, like, Todd's an asshole, But you get nobody to, like... but yeah.
You just take it out on each other.
Makeup sex.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Todd's an asshole.
Blow me, bitch.
Oh, jeez.
I would still love to talk about metal, but I think we're running out of time.
Oh, yeah. It looks like we are.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a good documentary.
Yeah. It sort of re-impassioned my metal spark.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always been...
It's always there, but sometimes you want to listen to something else. And,
Right.
Yeah, you listen to some Prince or some Damien
Mississippi John Hurt. Yeah.
Some Sonny Williams or...
Yeah.
But,
I think I'm going to listen to Sepultura on the way home, actually.
Yeah.
I always make sure in my CD book in the car there's... even if I'm like, I just want something quiet, there's always, like, a metal CD. It's like the cyanide pill that I always keep in my cheek, And just in case you need it, there's always one in my car, and I know there's a Sepultura CD in there. So I'll make sure I listen to that on the way home.
But, thanks for picking that. That's awesome.
Lemmy, too.
Oh, the Lemmy!
Oh.
Fuck.
Gotta talk about Lemmy.
Yes.
Well, we'll talk about him in the break. I have to come back.
Okay. Alright, yeah. We'll be back with Lemmy Talk.
Right.
And our new segment on restaurant reviews.
Yes.
We'll be back.
Execute
back, everyone. Oh, Lemmy. Gotta talk about Lemmy.
Yes.
I can't believe we both forgot about Lemmy.
Yeah, it's shocking because it's fucking Lemmy.
Yeah, and he wasn't in the. I don't think he was in the documentary too much, but he was in. We watched the special feature.
Right, it was like a 10-minute
interview.
Yeah,
with the rainbow, wherever that is.
Lemmy at the Rainbow.
Lemmy at the Rainbow. Yeah.
Assuming it's a club or bar or something. Yeah.
He's great.
He is. He is always awesome.
He's one of those guys too. Like every time I see him, I'm like, I can't believe he's still alive. You know? Seriously, every time I see him, because I'm like, man, he's been doing this for so long, and he seems like he doesn't half-ass do it. You know, he's
he's full hog. Yeah,
he's a drinking, speed taking, whoever
badass.
Fucking and he's still alive.
Yeah, I think if Motorhead had gained more popularity among the mainstream, that we would not be referring to Keith Richards as the cockroach of the music world.
Right.
It would be fucking Lemmy.
Yeah. And if it wasn't for those Cocoa Puffs on the show, I might have added to it.
That's his trademark.
Yeah. Someone told me he was getting those removed. Is that true?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
That would seem weird if he did.
You know how much he could sell them for on eBay, though? I mean, not even as a pair. I mean, he could...
One each?
Yeah, 10,000
per mold.
Per puff, yeah.
Yeah, Lemmy is fucking awesome.
But yeah, he's hilarious.
Yeah.
He seems to have fun doing it. Like, he was on that Probot album that came out a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Or a few years back.
Shake Your Blood.
Yeah. That was a great song.
Hell yeah. Dave Grohl really needs to do another one of those.
I heard he was supposed to, but that was like a year ago.
Oh,
so, hopefully.
I was, I bought that album on your recommendation.
Mm-hmm.
It was super awesome.
Sweet.
Yeah, I totally dig it.
How great would that be to, like, be like, here's a list of, like, the 15 most influential people in my childhood.
Right.
And then, like, record an album with them.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I mean, if nothing else, that was worth, every minute of Nirvana,
But then, but you think about it, because it's Dave Grohl. I mean, yeah, Nirvana's awesome and everything, but, Foo Fighters not so much.
Right.
And you just kind of associate, the fact that the Foo Fighters is, the band that he is now associated with. He's been with it longer, and it's his thing. But they do such poppy,
very
commercially. Very commercial, very almost cock rocky.
Yeah.
For at least, this century's version of cock rock.
It's weird though, it's like they tinge it with something cool, like all their videos are awesome.
Yeah.
There's good lyrics, sometimes.
Good guitar parts.
Yeah, but it still always stays within that simple formula.
Right.
It doesn't venture too far into creepy experimental music territory.
Right.
It's always pretty much something that you can let your 5-year-old daughter listen to.
Yeah. But then Dave Grohl, that guy, turns around and does this fucking metal album.
Yeah.
With all of the fucking...
King Diamond and... I don't think Slayer's on there, but...
no, not Slayer, but Lemmy's on it. The guy from Venom.
Yeah.
Celtic Frost.
Yeah. It's bizarre.
And it's great. I mean, there's maybe maybe 2-3 songs that are,
yeah,
but even those,
yeah.
And then there's a song he does with Jack Black.
That was a good one.
It was pretty awesome.
Yeah. The Secret Hidden Song.
Yeah.
I am the Walk. See, metal's fun. Why do some people not get that? Especially people that are into metal. I mean, I can see why, Tipper Gore not getting it, okay, I understand that more than, the guy that's I live death. Why doesn't he get it?
Satan.
Yeah, that guy. I mean, he provides hilarious entertainment for millions of people that watch that video, and he doesn't even know it.
Yeah, it's that scene is this deadly, serious scene where they're asking him about like these crimes that have been committed all through the country of Norway, and he's fucking sitting in like a stone castle with like iron bars behind him, a chalice of wine, and they ask him a question, and he just sits there in silence for like 5 minutes, and then finally he just looks and says, "Satan," and then chugs the fucking chalice. And,
oh my gosh,
what does Satan mean to you? Freedom.
It's ridiculous. But I'm glad he's on. I'm glad he was on the DVD.
Oh yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, okay, we can laugh at that, but it's fucking sad because there's those people out there that take themselves way too seriously, and then
buy every fucking word of it. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like even they're like, we will burn churches, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big fan of organized religion. I'm a religious person. I believe in God. But I don't believe in organized religion, per se.
Right.
But I would never,
Don't burn down a fucking church.
I would never think to do that. Yeah. That's ridiculous. I mean, I might...
Because, you know, we may not be into it, but there are people who are. They have the right to worship whatever they want.
Right, exactly.
And have the place to do it.
Yeah. If you want to worship Marmaduke, fucking do it.
Yeah.
If it keeps you sane and gets you to the end of the day.
Just don't start preaching Marmaduke to me, and we're good.
I'll start clipping Marmaduke out of all the papers.
Because I'm just going to come back at you with Clifford.
Oh, yeah. Or Ziggy.
Well, you can keep it the dog.
Oh, the dog, yeah.
Bigger dog.
All right. Damn it.
Clifford is a bigger red dog.
He was much better, too.
Oh,
much better. But yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
Metal is awesome.
Metal is great.
Go worship the devil.
Yeah. I'm also really glad that they didn't touch on any, except for Slipknot, they didn't touch on any of the new metal bands or like, you know, shit like Marilyn Manson. You know, I'm glad that they avoided talking to him at all.
Although I think he's
intelligent.
Things good to, you know,
he's
intelligent, articulate.
But he is also one who in my opinion, lost the joke.
Yeah.
Because I think, like, if you listen to, like, Portrait of American Family, like, you can tell that, like, you know, they're in on it.
Right.
But then, like, with Antichrist Superstar and on, you know,
it's just, right.
Yeah, it's just like, we are no longer fun.
I totally agree with you there. Yeah, and plus, I mean, we've basically heard all that he's got to say, basically. I mean, he's given enough interviews, like, no one needs that.
Right.
What else, Bam! You said Marilyn Manson. I forgot what it was at all.
No,
a good song.
Plaster Caster.
Yeah, I'm surprised there's no interview with Anal Cunt. Did I ever tell you I interviewed the lead singer of Anal Cunt?
You did not.
For a zine. His name was Seth Putnam. And, I got his number from a guy that I was in a metal band with who worked at a record store and had ordered stuff directly from him. So he gave me his number, and I just called him one day out of the blue, and I was like, "Hi, I'm doing this zine. Do you have time to do a phone interview?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I could do a couple of questions right now." And I was like, "Oh, that's really cool." You know, I call this guy at his house. Right. I mean, granted, he was like, "How did you get this number?" And I was like, "Oh, that's from my friend Terry," and I gave his full name, and he goes, "Who?" So he clearly had forgotten. But I asked him ridiculous questions. Like, I don't know if you've heard Anal Cunt.
Yeah.
They have a few memorable songs, but a lot of it's just like,
right, yeah.
And it all sound the same. And I remember I asked him, I was like, when you guys are playing live, do you ever get confused while you're playing your songs since they all sound the same? And he was like, no. That was his answer. And I just remember, like, the last question I asked him, I was like, okay, I could tell he was uninterested in. I only asked him like 5 questions.
Right.
And I was like, what do you think is better, Pogs or Magic the Gathering? And he goes, I don't know what either of those things are. And I was like, that's probably good. So that was my interview with Seth from Anal Cunt.
Wow. Well, from what you said, he may sound like kind of a humorless dick, but to be fair, you were kind of a dick in asking the questions you asked.
Completely. And you know what's even worse? Seriously, I was a super fan of them. Like, I had their records, I listened to them a lot. I was like, let's fuck with this guy. For no reason. I think I was like that back then. But oh well. I moved on. Moved past that.
Now you're just too nice to people.
I'm making up for all the times I, called Kenny a chicken boy and You know, whatever. Trying to be a better person.
You're doing okay.
All right.
So, we'll just make this an all-metal podcast from this point on.
From now on? Okay.
From now on, yeah.
Food reviews and metal.
Food reviews and metal. Yeah, hell yeah.
All right.
Well,
do that.
Fraser.
That's really good.
Yeah, it is.
Looks like it's 200 years old. I'm sorry.
What?
I'm talking about something no one can see.
Yes.
It's dumb.
But stop talking.
What's his name again?
Fraser Irving.
I'm gonna Google him.
He is good. You've seen this stuff before.
What's he do?
Nothing regular. But
It looks like 100 years old, that drawing.
Really?
I don't know why.
Okay. It was from the Azrael comic that came out like 2 months ago.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, just like the style, it looks so old.
Okay. It was black and white. He colors it. It's like very Photoshoppy.
Okay. That was before they invented colors, what I was thinking.
Yeah. But yeah, he does like, what the fuck was that book that I keep asking about? It came out from Image and only like 2 issues came out. It was about a whale. People lived inside of it.
Sort of my mouth. No. Chew?
No, not Chew. I think it was like a bodily function type thing. I don't know. But it was like pilgrims like got eaten by a whale and they just turned its insides into a home.
Wow. Okay. Wow. I'll try to figure that out. Order it.
Well, I don't think the book is coming out ever again.
That sucks.
But the first 3 issues came out and it was awesome. But he drew that.
Okay. That's all I need to know. I'll figure it out.
So, I guess I should pick a comic for us to review for the next episode. I had one in mind that I was going to pick. It was it was one of those things that was on the list of books I wanted to make sure we got through in our first year of the podcast. Decided against it last minute. Went with something else that basically just came out.
Okay.
I'm picking The Wonderful Wizard of Oz by Eric Scheinauer and Scotty Young.
Oh, sweet. Okay. I figured you'd eventually pick that. I didn't think you were going to pick it already.
Yeah.
Because I knew you were a super fan.
Yeah. Scotty Young. Yeah. And, I just got the hardcover collection Thursday, so.
Awesome.
I figured let's do it. Because I'm going to read it either way.
Wow, that's very timely because at the end of this month, Showcase is running The Wizard of Oz at the theater. So we can review it, inspire people, they'll go out and see the movie. Yeah. Maybe you'll even go see it. Who knows?
Probably not.
They do sing in that movie.
That's probably why I won't go see it. That, I saw it so many times when I was a little kid. I have no real desire to ever see that movie ever again.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
But I am looking forward to reading this allegedly faithful adaptation of the original novel. So.
Sweet. Me too. I do want to read it. I like the art that I've seen so far.
The art looks great. And I know Eric Scheinauer is like a very high-profile Oz expert. So
okay. I'm unfamiliar with him.
He is a writer of comics. He's done a lot of Oz comics. He also does the Age of Bronze series from Image. Yeah. And he did a Vertigo one-shot with Ed Brubaker called Prez.
Oh, okay. I have read that.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. So, that's it.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait to read it.
Okay.
So, yeah. Cool.
Okay.
So, yeah. This is the part where we all go to sleep.
Yeah, we're floundering. No doubt about that. So yeah, I think you got to get out of here in a few minutes.
Go walk my dog. She's ready to poop.
Me too. What? Yeah.
Fucking metal, man. Fucking metal, man.
Yeah.
There's a new Fear Factory and Slayer both coming out this year. Before the end of the year. It's exciting.
Megadeth has an album.
A couple weeks.
I believe, yeah, a couple weeks.
Netherbull, I think they're putting out their...
Netherbull is working on some material.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Good time to be a metal fan.
It's always a good time.
It's true. That is true. Fuck. The second Death Clock album is coming out at the end of this month.
Oh, yeah?
Got it. I'm pre-ordering.
Okay.
Fuck yeah.
Awesome.
Metalocalypse. I wish this documentary would have come out or been filmed after Metalocalypse had started coming out, because they could have totally interviewed Brandon Small. And
well, he has a sequel called Global Metal. Maybe
yeah. That's because Death Clock is very. They're a Norwegian death metal band that has a sense of humor.
Yeah, it's the first. I wonder if Mayhem and Gore Soft watches Metalocalypse. They're like, I like to punch so they kill everyone. That's it. The humor is unoriginal.
Yeah. But anyway, enough metal for now.
Yes.
Let's get out of here.
All right.
Goodbye, everybody.
Thank
you for listening. Goodbye.
Gutter Trash can be downloaded at www.guttertrash.net, iTunes, Podcast Alley, and Feedburner. You can also find us at myspace.com/guttertrash_net, seanborn.net, and buyerbewarecomics.blogspot.com. Contact us at eric@guttertrash.net or jason@guttertrash.net. Thank you for listening to Gutter Trash. We'll see you next time.